Take me out to the ball game.
Good morning. Welcome to the Armchair Quarterbacks. Take me out to the ball game today as we get you caught up on the news and notes in the world of sports. We start this off. Did you see the Travelers Championship? What an incredible golf tournament that came down to Harry English birdied the eighth hole of sudden death to win the Traveler Championships on Sunday, beating Kramer Hickok after they both birdied the final hole of regulation to force the playoff. I mean, when it's not a major, you don't see a lot of golf trending on Twitter. It was the number one trend on Twitter at the time of that tournament's end. It was unfreaking believable. Congratulations to Harry English. I was pulling for Kramer Hickok because he was Jordan Spieth's caddy several years back, so that would have been a really cool story. But regardless, what an incredible ending to the Travelers Championship, which is such a storied tournament. The winners that have gone on to win majors, the list is like this damn long. It is unbelievable. But that's what that to me was the biggest story of the sports weekend, was that particular finish on Sunday afternoon. Okay, let's get into what's going on today, as you've got the NBA playoffs continuing. And tonight, after the Suns Clippers, which everyone was complaining about how poor the shooting was and how poor of a game was played on Saturday night, I'll tell you what, I thought it was refreshing to see a game that was played with a little more defense. Now, the shooting was pretty bad. There were some wide open shots that were being missed, and I get that complaint of it. But I don't mind a low-scoring basketball game. I really don't. If it's a close game, it just means that every shot is that much more important. The Suns have a commanding 3-1 lead, and we'll see if they can finish them off tonight, 9 o'clock Eastern on the Four-Letter Network. Now, the NHL, the Stanley Cup Finals are finally here. Here we are in the 28th day of June. Canadians, Lightning in Tampa as the series begins. Obviously, best of 7. First 2 will be in Tampa. Tonight's game, 8 o'clock on NBC Sports Network. And I am looking forward to this. It would have been a little more exciting if it would have been New York versus Montreal, but Tampa, defending champions, there's nothing not to like here. You've got an original 16. You've got the all-time historic Montreal Canadiens with 24 championships, and they're going to take on what I know a lot of these, I see a lot of these tweets coming out of New York and whatnot, which are kind of funny, where they just don't respect Tampa. They've got a hell of a fan base. They really do. And you see it regular season, you see it postseason every year. The Lightning have a hell of a fan base. Don't condemn the Lightning for what the Rays fan base is. It's two totally different situations. And I think Tampa, I've got them as the odds-on favorite to win this. I like Tampa to win this thing, probably in 5 or 6. Though the Canadiens they've shocked everybody to get this far when you look at the regular season records. So we'll find out. Everyone thought that Vegas was going to roll over the Canadiens. There's something special about this team, and they're trying to bring number 25, home to Montreal. So there you have that. In Major League Baseball, over the weekend, wow. I mean, what the hell is going on in the Bronx? What in the hell is going on in the Bronx? You've got a situation now where they go in and they get their butts handed to them, get swept in Boston, the Yankees did. And just about the time that they try to get up over the top, they are now 6.5 games behind Boston, who now leads the AL East. Boston is a half game in front of the Tampa Bay Rays, who they won 2 of 3 against the Angels this weekend. So Tampa, half game behind Boston, and the Blue Jays are 6 behind. So you've got the Yankees actually in 4th place in that division. Unbelievable. The rest of the divisions look like this coming out of the weekend. White Sox, 2.5 games over Cleveland. Houston, 2 games in front of Oakland out west. And in the National League, it's a little breathing room, but we are going 4 wide into 4th of July weekend with the Mets leading the East. But you've got the Nats 4 games back. New York is at Washington today. And the Phillies and Braves are both 5 games behind the Mets. So you've got about 2 weeks before the All-Star break. It'll be interesting to see how these teams play. Atlanta and New York have a big series starting tomorrow, but New York is at Washington today. So that's a big series. And then you got Milwaukee and the Cubs. Brewers are on fire. They've won 5 in a row, 2.5 in front of the Cubs, 3 games in front of the Cubs, as the Cubs had a rough bout out there in Los Angeles up against the Dodgers. Brewers and Cubs play this week, so that's going to be a big series. Reds are 6 games back. The Cardinals are 8 games back, and the Dodgers will be 3.5 back of San Francisco as play begins today in the West, and the Padres are 4.5 games back. So it ought to be an interesting summer in the West, in the Central, in the East. One of those teams is going to come out and challenge the Mets. We're just going to find out who it is. And you can poke holes in all of them. But right now, Washington looks like the team that could be the one that puts the foot on the gas. All right. And the other news out of the College World Series, it really is disgusting that the College Baseball World Series, the finals begin today. And to no fault of the teams that are playing, okay? I don't want to kill the teams that are playing. But this championship is going to be tainted, when you look at Mississippi State versus Vanderbilt. North Carolina State on Saturday, I'm sure most of you saw this, but those that didn't, North Carolina State was banished from the College World Series because of COVID protocols, which is asinine at this point when you've got a sold-out stadium and fans on top of each other who are not being asked to be tested for COVID. None of them, by the way, have major symptoms. As far as I know, any symptoms. They're all asymptomatic. And they are forcing NC State to, they call it a no contest. So they automatically put Vanderbilt and Mississippi State in the College World Series. There's a lot of wonders of collusion because we know ESPN, with all the money that they have paid and poured into the Southeastern Conference, and to have them two in the finals, they think that's a win-win. I think it's terrible for the sport. It's terrible look for the sport. I think the ratings are going to suffer. There's no reason why they couldn't have delayed whatever they had to delay a couple of days. It's the end of the season. There's no damn reason why you couldn't push it back a couple of days. There really isn't. You could figure it out. Don't tell me about hotel rooms, blah, blah, blah. You could figure it out. It's for these kids' national championships hopes. And to take that away from them, it's disgusting. But you got Mississippi State and Vanderbilt playing for the title today. The best out of 3. And we'll see. But I would tend to think, just reading the temperature of the room and social media, I don't think a lot of people are interested in watching it, and they're going to what rate, and they don't get the greatest ratings, right? I think it's going to be down. So essentially, the way I look at it, we're now going to have to wait 3 years before we crown another champion in college baseball. Because remember, NC State beat Vanderbilt the first time they played. They lost with only 13 players because of these goofy protocols the second time they played. And they were going up against the pitcher in Jack Leiter that they beat the first game. Common sense would tell you NC State had a very good chance of winning that game and going on to play Mississippi State for the title. All right, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Have a great rest of your Monday, and thank you for watching, tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe the Armchair Quarterback Show channel today on YouTube, and we'll get out of here. Thanks for watching. Take me out to the ball game today.
Take me out to the ball.